Hi friends, I'm Meliora. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you the most beautiful, exquisite, unique, high quality bottles that I have in my collection. It was a tough challenge for me. As some of you may know, I'm a bit obsessed with the packaging. Equally so as I am with the fragrance itself and with the rest of the kind of story when it comes about any particular scent or any particular legend of a perfume. So I do have a lot of kind of like check boxes that a fragrance has to check before I will really indulge myself into buying a full bottle of it. Sometimes packaging may be a deciding factor. I'm not gonna say it's too frequent, but it's always a major concern for me. So the first one I'm gonna show you is the old packaging that L'Artisan Parfumerie used to have. Everything about this just amazes me. I hope you can see it clearly in focus, the gold lid with the sort of three-dimensional symbol of the house, the heptagon of a bottle. This particular one is Rose Privé and has a larger print. Usually it's just like a simple kind of piece of paper. Now they look slightly differently, more, I would say, austere, more minimalist. This was more kind of a luxurious version of their packaging. I must say I completely fell for it. Not only that, they also had a sort of laser, is it laser or is it printed? Yeah, I think it's just like a laser matte name of the brand itself on the side. I don't know if you can see it here or not. Just everything about these bottles is exquisite, just exquisite. And there's also imprinted the name of the brand at the very bottom of the bottle. Oh, I love them. I love them so much. And as you can imagine, these kind of bottles are very collectible. They do look good put together. The next one, just for the contrast, I'm gonna show you is very affordable bottle. Surprisingly enough, even though it's very elaborate, I find it to be really beautiful. Here we have Historia de Amor by Aubusson, and as you can see, it's very elaborate design. There are like a lot of florals, kind of like three-dimensional pattern on the bottle, and there is some on the back. And even though the lid is plastic, it still has a very interesting, to my personal taste, rather kind of like romantic, elegant shape of a flower. So when it comes to heavily ornamental bottles, it's a very fine balance between doing something elegant and maybe from a sort of romantic era or even lavish Rococo Barocco style and doing something gaudy and kitschy. You may disagree with me if you wish. It's just like I'm only showing you things that I personally find to be really interesting in shape, form, texture, or really high quality make. This is not the highest quality of a make. You can sort of see the seams of the glass. There's nothing particularly unique about the material of the lid as well, but to the price of almost like $15 or $10 per bottle, the Aubusson Historia de Amor is one of the most kind of makeup table worthy purchases in my view. It also helps that this is a very well balanced fougere floral. It's very light. I wouldn't really call it a most potent or complex fragrance, but it's a really easy and pleasant wear in the summer. And the bottle I find to be like a truly worth displaying, and you're not really losing much even if it goes bad, you know, like it's a mass market. It's a really affordable perfume. Let's jump right back at something crazy expensive, and so far the only bottle of women's perfume by Amouage that I have, and this is a 50 ml eau de parfum of Ciel. The Amouage bottles, which is like a British Arabic brand, have very distinctive shape. very well designed perfume, very thoughtful. I find that those kind of like crystals on the top of them are a bit gaudy, but again, it's kind of like depends on where you stand on the more the better, or the less is better. The only thing that upsets me a little bit, that their old packaging used to have, even though they were not magnetic, but the lids were way more ornamental. There was like way more patterns here on the lid side. The delicate patterns on the lid used to remind me of the stonework that you can find in Alhambra, Spain, you know, all of those like Moroccan or Arabic castles. The new lid design is very simple, and you know, it's magnetic, but I personally don't really care as much about magnetic lids as some other people. The sun that is so characteristic of these fragrances, like everything is just so signature, so well thought through. I love them. Talking about bottle design and not mentioning Chanel is just nonsensical kind of endeavor. Yes, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the methods of Mademoiselle Chanel and how she stayed in business, I must say that the designs that they seem a bit Art Deco to me in their kind of heritage, they are truly remarkable in the accuracy of form and the make of the glass. So in the in the designer luxury market of perfumes, we're not talking about the hyper luxury, you know, perfumes that cost like $300 and above, but actually that's something that anybody can buy in a department store or Sephora. I find that the Chanel bottles just take 10 out of 10. Like, they are one of the best quality of glass and the most stylish and elegant design of bottles out there in that price range, in that kind of category. So here I have the only two Chanels actually that I have in my collection. So here is, if any of you are wondering, my Chanel collection video is right here. It's gonna last exactly 10 seconds. I have Coco Mademoiselle and I have Coco Noir. Just check the quality of all of the lines, all of the facets. This is truly amazing. All these slanted little facets, they're really beautiful. It reminds me of jewelry, to be honest, like the way that the stones are usually cut. Beautiful bottles, absolutely stunning. And again, if we are trying to find something within the designer market, these are probably, I don't want to say the best, but one of the best. But who could possibly win over Chanel bottles? I bet a lot of you already guessed. Yes, Guerlain. They have a long and rich history of perfume making, but also of bottle design and of craft of perfumes. And I don't know, like if some of you are bitter about Guerlain kind of repackaging some of their older perfumes in newer bottles, I find these particular bottles that they kind of brought back. Just look at that, the matte glass that it still has the shapes of those little cute, I think these are bees, yeah, the classic bees of Guerlain. Here I have Samsara. I have two bottles of this design. I have Insolence and Samsara. Samsara I absolutely love, even though, yes, it's not the same as it used to be, but you know, the new Samsara is still very wearable, maybe a little bit simpler, but it's still delightful in my personal view. Insolence, not so much, but we're here to talk about the beautiful, original, and really unique bottles. So there's a lot attention to detail in the way that Guerlain designs their bottles, at least some of them. Another one that I just can't not mention, probably a lot of you also love this shape. This is Shellamar bottles, and I have two sizes to show you. They're slightly different proportions if it's a bigger bottle, smaller bottle. I know not everyone cares about it. I do, and if you're as big of a nerd when it comes to proportions, sort of an aesthetic architectural design, I'm sure you'll appreciate the differences. So here I have the two Shellamars that I have in my collection, which is Souffle, and this is Eau de Parfum, and I'm almost out of it. I think I will be out of it by the end of fall for sure. And a really rare discontinued version that I think now is going to be re-released. on kind of like a new wave of its popularity, and this is Shellamar Initial. I'm not sure if I can find words to describe the beauty of this shape and just how romantic and luxurious these bottles look on the vanity table. It's just something else. Really, really beautiful. Here's something some of you might not have expected. A Michael Kors perfume. And this particular one, I really, really love the packaging of it. I got it by recommendation of Beauty Meow, Kristin. She really recommended it as one of like delightful flankers that are perfect for summer by Michael Kors. And what I find particularly beautiful about this bottle, I hope you can see it here in the reflection, I don't know if it's the glass or the juice, is a very light aquamarine blue. But the bottom, the very bottom of the bottle is very delightful kind of citrine yellow. And this just creates a most delightful reflections and kind of gradient of color within the bottle. The quality of the gold here is really high. I must say there's a lot of cheap gold out there when it comes to packaging, but this is what the dream that Michael Kors represented about kind of like contemporary American women casual and sportswear. I love the scent and love the bottle. I find that this is one of the very good kind of glossy type of fragrances. You know, this is something that is easy to wear. It's not overly complicated, but it's really polished, and the bottle just compliments to the chef. That's all I can say. Love it, absolutely love it. If you love musks, and if you love gourmands, if you like sensual, sexy, seductive, very animalic scents, and you haven't tried anything by Narciso Rodriguez, just pause the video. I'll wait, I'll still be here for you later, and just go find yourself something by Narciso Rodriguez. They're all amazing. But that said, the bottle design itself, I got myself here a limited edition, which has the special kind of like sprayer, but the original Eau de Parfum, which has this like delightful milky baby pink with black accents, is just astonishingly true to the brand identity and very, very well made. The seams here and sort of the lines are smoothed. It's not as polished and sharp as Chanel bottles, but yet it's still very well made. And I especially love, it's like almost collection worthy, are their metallized bottles. So when they spray kind of this metallic color, I think it's like they have different flankers. Some of them like silver, some of them are gold. I here have a Narciso Rodriguez for her in color, which is I think a discontinued flanker of Narciso Rodriguez. The smell by itself is not anything that special and that different from the original to write home about, but the bottle itself, that was the case when I just couldn't. I knew I loved Narciso Rodriguez, and I had to get it just for the sake of the beauty of the bottle. And I must say that out of their cubes and kind of other shapes, I absolutely adore what they did with the red cube here. So this is Narciso Rodriguez, Narciso Rouge, which is a very kind of makeup bag, creamy, beautiful. Again, all of his smells are very sensual and seductive. All of them are slightly in a different way, but just look at the bottle alone. It's just, isn't that yummy? It's like so to the point. Let's make a small detour to niche, Penhaligon's. You didn't think I would talk about the most unique and exquisite bottle designs and not mention Penhaligon's. I mean, at that point, you should probably know who you're dealing with. So nostalgic, very apothecary, kind of, beginning of the century or like end of 19th century style. Some of them have bows, some of them have sort of like a simpler design. I particularly am partial not to the bows, but to these kind of like just slightly simpler designs when there is just like a little ribbon. And yeah, here we have an example which is Zizonia. They also have imprinted Penhaligon's name, kind of like a three-dimensional name on the back of the bottles. Simple, elegant. I love the little kind of the transparent little ball on top of it. They're just so well designed, and again, there's like a beautiful romantic nostalgia for the old times that these bottles represent for me. Here's something I didn't, like 3 years ago, I didn't expect I would say that, but Kuchi is back. Something miraculous is happening with their packaging design and actually olfactory profiles as well. So the memory of one day, Mémoire d'une ado, I hope I'm saying it right. It's everything about that fragrance packaging is just exquisite. This is a perfect kind of summer, like August in the summer house somewhere, you know, in the fields, and the kids are running and you're waiting for your afternoon tea. It's very aristocratic and yet accessible. Okay, we're talking about the packaging, the bottle here, not the scent itself. It's just everything, the choice of the color, the ribbed matte paper with gold accents, and kind of also matte gold accents with very fine lines in the lid, and the Gucci on top. Just everything about it is so, it's almost manicured. It's like a miniature sculpture, how well thought through and stylistically sound it is. And if you want to look at the box packaging, it has again a deeper emerald green color with small, if I remember correctly, golden stars. It looks like the beginning of a 20th century wallpaper in some of the well-to-do houses. Love it. This is just such, again, a very beautiful vintage inspired nostalgic bottle design, and it's so true to what's inside, and it's so imaginative and almost unexpected for kind of departments, the things that you can buy in the department store, because this is very haute couture for a department store fragrance bottle design. Molinard de Molinard. I think at this point we can call it niche. It's a pretty old perfume house, but since it didn't make it to a mainstream, I think automatically falls into niche, as many other historic perfume houses. The brands that primarily made bath body products and perfumes. So this particular bottle, as you can see, has a lot of facets. Again, reminds me of the way that precious stones are usually cut, and it's just the play of the light on all of these facets through the bottle, and the rose gold of the lid combined with the delicate kind of muted violet of the bow. Everything about this bottle is just so pretty, don't you think? I find this to be a very kind of like your vanity table worthy of a scent. The scent itself is a soft, finely milled, spicy perfume, but I must say it's not my favorite, surprisingly so, even though softly milled spices is my comfort zone. Don't wear it nearly as often, but absolutely adore the bottle, and to be honest, this is another one. I read about the notes. I didn't expect much, but when I saw the bottle, I just had to. So yeah, Molinard and Molinard is just like this really yummy faceted cube. Really, really cute, isn't it? I really tried, but I just can't. I can't shove it all into like the 20-minute videos, the expectations of the modern YouTuber. I'm so sorry, guys, but I hope you can see that my obsession with product design, kind of end to end, the cohesion and the unity of messaging that comes with the concept, with the scent itself, and with the packaging, this obsession is very sincere. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a break here. Tomorrow I'll show you the second part of the most exquisite, really true to the brand identity, high quality, elaborate packaging, elaborately packaged bottles that I have in my collection. And I have a question for you now. Let me know, first of all, if you have any bottles that you would consider to be like really, really exquisitely made, something that just like, oh, this is just another level. And also, have you ever, I'm just looking for a support group at this point, have you ever considered or bought a perfume because of the bottle? I can't be the only one, can I? Alright, I'll be waiting for your comments. Please share the video with perfume lovers in your life. If you liked it, I will really appreciate your support. And I'll see you in the next part.